And there's actually some good news for first-time home buyers in the city. With me, our real estate expert, Markoou. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. So, we've heard it a lot. The city trying to attract families to either, to move back to the city or move to the city, buy their first home here. And now they're finally taking some action on that front.
Yeah, well, Projet Montréal had a pre-campaign promise to kind of do something to alleviate some of the stress on this so-called welcome tax or transfer tax.
Yeah.
So as of June 1st, basically what they're doing is we can receive from $5,000 up to $7,000 back on our welcome taxes, depending on the value of the property.
Okay, do welcome taxes, could they typically go higher than $7,000, or is that sort of, because that sounds like a lot.
Yeah, they're usually calculated on the sale price or the property of the value of the property, sorry. So they can tend to go a lot higher than $7,000. So.
Okay, but they will send you a check of $7,000.
They will give you a tax break, I believe, or give you back a certain amount of credit on that. So that's basically how it's going to work, and it's going to help, a lot of families, in particular with children under 12 years old. So, and even that for new construction, you can get up to $15,000 back.
Wow!
So the $5,000 to $7,000 is based on purchasing your first property on an existing construction, and you can get up to $15,000 back on a new construction. So
that cool. is certainly a really good incentive to go for new construction. And obviously, you said the children under 12, so they're attracting families. That's what they want to do.
Basically, what they're trying to do is help families stay in the city. So a lot of the times, if you have a family that's renting, they're looking to purchase, they have the tendency of going out to the suburbs because prices are just a little bit less expensive, and therefore the welcome taxes will also be a little bit less expensive.
Okay, so what is the main reason for this? And I always, when I see things like this, it looks so good, and I always have to ask, is there a catch here? Is there a catch?
Well, there's no catch. I think there probably are some guidelines where you can qualify for assistance like this, but I think it's basically to help families with children under a certain age, and of course, like we said before, buying your first property. There's some startling statistics. Between 2011 and 2016, more than 24,000 children under the age of 15 moved out of the city, I guess, with their families. Yeah, and I guess that's where they're seeing the problem. So they're trying to, bring back people into the island of Montreal or just keep them there. Okay, and now you have sort of a scale for us to show exactly how this would be calculated, I assume? Yes, well, it's just an understanding, basically, to understand how welcome taxes are calculated. So they're calculated on the sale price. Yeah. And it's just basically to show also that the way they calculate welcome taxes on the island of Montreal is very different as opposed to calculating them in other areas. So the rate is actually higher for the island of Montreal. So if you can see here an example, it's like outside the island stops at 1.5% of the sale price, but on the island, they go up to 2 and 2.5%. So it's a lot. It's expensive. Yes. Okay. So that's what, 10,000 additional 2.5. Okay. So on a $1.2 million home, basically, they're saying there's about a $6,000 difference between the South Shore, for example, and Montreal. Yeah. And there I was asking if a welcome tax can go over $7,000. It can go a lot more. Okay. Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you. It's good news. It's good news. It's great news. There you go.